Hello, everybody, and
Your Will. We have not recorded in like 3 weeks.
hello, everybody. I'm Will,
And I'm Kristen.
and this is I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 1 and 2.
One night only.
One night only.
Part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and one night only. Part 2. We had fun with that.
Yeah.
We're doing something new, which is not this, but we filmed our reaction. We filmed our watching the episode, and we think we're going to try and upload it to Patreon under our Watchers tier. It's a $3 tier. It's just us, and then you might be able to see what we're talking about reflected in a mirror.
Yeah.
We can't do picture-in-picture due to copyright reasons, all that, blah, blah, blah. But check out our Patreon if you're interested in that, and we're also doing Teen Wolf and a lot of other fun stuff. So, anyways.
Early access to lots of stuff, too. And we're still working on stuff. We're both busy. There's lots going on, but we're still working on adding more stuff, too.
Yeah. Okay. We watched the first 2 episodes. We didn't watch Untucked. We will in the future, but we were not able to tonight. What did you think?
I largely enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too. I think this is a pretty good group of queens. They all seem good. They all seem talented. And I think that there's place for drama behind the scenes. I know they promised us some, but I'm a little bit put out. Spoiler show. Don't know if you know that. Don't know if I said that. But
I was wondering which one of us was going to jump all the way to the end first.
I sort of feel like we've already dismissed one of the primary storylines.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit chafed by that.
Well, again, we haven't watched Untucked, so if there is some weird behind the like drama extra game within a game stuff, we don't know that yet. So I guess we'll see. But I am a little annoyed because I was into Irene. I was like interested in what was gonna happen.
So we watched the Get to Know the Queens. There were a couple that stuck out to me. Going in, Marsha was easily my front runner. That's just my thing. I like that bitch. And she seemed to be handling herself well. She's young and she's pretty and she knows it. And she seems to be navigating that fairly well.
Well, I'm going to say it again. I said it like 4 times while we were watching the episodes. She has a BFA. And is like a ballerina and has been on Broadway. When you are that talented and you're young and pretty, but you can back it up with shit, I think that's where it's important. And I think she's backing it up with enough that I feel fine about it.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm always nervous when we come back to it because I'm not sure where to start. But it was the first 2 episodes. We met all of the queens, but we met them in 2 groups. Yeah. 2 groups of 8, so there's 16. I think I don't know if they're counting. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're counting the twins as one because I think
no, they're not. They're
not. Okay, but I think that might be sort of how we got to this 16.
Because they didn't want to take one and not the other.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But. So we met them into 2 different groups, and then they just sort of thrust them together, like within maybe it was the quote unquote second episode. But
well, what I think would have been more interesting for like maybe a little more drama is if they had let the second batch also start choreographing something and then put them together, so they both have like half choreography.
Maybe I like the split intros because it gives you a chance to get to know them better because you're only meeting 7 or 8 at a time. But I don't like it because it usually results in them being clickier than normal.
Also, yes. Yeah. And there's so many talking heads of like one side or the other being like, I don't like these bitches. And it's like, I mean, okay, but come on.
But so they did 2 mini challenges. They seemed unbalanced. One of the mini challenges was with 4 pit stop guys. We have
pit crew.
We have Bryce and Bruno and Calix back, and I did not get the 4th one's name. I don't know if he's new. I didn't recognize him. But they were dousing them in water, which as one of them, maybe it was Amethyst, I don't remember, but one of them was like, it was Lux, I think. Yeah. Where she was like, I don't like being wet, period. But being in drag and being wet.
I can't imagine.
And then was it Sasha Colby that Rue was just straight waterboarding?
Yeah.
Like it felt. And then the other ones, they blew air on them. So
and feathers and stuff because it was Robin Fierce. So it was like the feathers kept getting stuck in her lip gloss. She was real mad.
It felt unbalanced, and only 2 pit stop Pit Crew.
Pit Crew, yeah.
I keep saying that.
I don't know.
The Pit Stop is the YouTube show.
Oh, yes. Yeah, okay.
Which I forget who's... I think it's Bianca Del Rio is hosting this year, I think. So that was fun. And Irene won the mini challenge.
Yeah.
That feels like, unless you royally boff it...
And I don't think she did.
No.
And
we'll get to it in a second.
Yeah,
or did you?
I also preferred her runway.
Yeah, we're
I will say she was less stunty in the lip sync.
Oh, absolutely. But that's not always a guarantee. I mean, I think was it Amethyst? Mm-hmm. I think she did. Lip syncing isn't also our forte.
No.
We're just sort of like, they both look nice.
Yeah, it's very, very Canadian best dress list.
Okay, so we're going to go through the runway and talk about each queen, how we felt, what our thoughts and stuff were. Starting with Irene Dubois. I'm very challenged. I feel very challenged because I kind of liked her.
Yeah, I did too. And here's the other thing too, is this is the first season that we've watched live, or maybe at all, where I'm like mad about the first person to go home.
So we started watching it live in season 11.
Yeah.
And there was kind of a lame duck, no offense, like no tea, no shade. But it was like, there was it Soju had that like really weird thing tied together. Mm-hmm. And then there was someone else.
So she wouldn't stop talking about her anal fissures or something. Whatever. It was gross.
And I think, it was Orion and Diabetti last year, but they brought them back.
Right.
And at least Orion had that really awkward performance, which, I mean, Irene did, but...
I don't know. I don't think it was bad enough, especially for what feels like could have come.
Mm-hmm. I like what she was presenting drag-wise.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
He seemed weird. Yeah. In a way that I feel like we only scratched the surface.
I said it.
In our recording.
He's like a Seattle... she's a Seattle queen. And I was like, those Pacific Northwest queens are fucking crazy. And then... Lux Noir kept calling Irene a swamp witch. And I was like, yeah.
Well, because they came out of the gate. And so that was the thing. Like, Irene was picking on Lux. And I was sort of like, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah. But she was very, very blatantly or very specifically not crossing a line.
Yeah.
But she kept coming too close to it for comfort for me. And I was sort of like, why are you antagonizing?
It was also all very focused on the length of the wig. Like, it didn't even ever branch out from that. And so that I found very intriguing, I guess. But I was like, why is that the thing?
I was sort of curious, but then there was something specific, and I can't remember if it was Lux, but it was like once... Well, actually, because Lux brought up, was like, actually, you're rubbing me the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I was a little bit impressed by that, that she was able to not just get her feelings hurt, but kind of like take ownership of the moment.
Yeah.
And Irene sort of backtracked it a little bit where she was like, oh, I'm mostly just like teasing you.
Yeah.
And then she even said something like nurturing and like put her hand on her back later. And so I was very curious. I wanted to see.
Because then also Irene and Mistress Isabel both... were like teasing and one of Sugar and Spice were like, I thought you guys were like feuding. And they were like, no.
Sugar and Spice, God bless them.
It's fine. But it was very funny. And so I think I really feel like we've butt scratched the surface with Irene Dubois, and I'm very disappointed.
It feels incomplete. Like, of all the times that the show has like hoisted off queens back into the mix.
Yeah. If this is the
time that I want to revisit one of them.
Me too.
I kind of feel like it's up there with Trixie, where it's like Trixie went home and it was sort of like
I wasn't done.
Yeah, we hadn't seen.
Maybe we'll get a Miss Vanjie and we just have to wait for season 16 and she'll be back.
But and yeah, I mean, so her talent, I didn't hate it. I could tell once she clarified that it's a routine that she already had that she condensed and had to picked the wrong moments, or maybe it just didn't condense well.
Yeah.
But it's like her look, her characterization, even though I could tell that like it missed the mark, I think the effort was there.
Yeah. And especially up against Lucy, I felt like her whole thing was less cohesive than like being a housewife, the hair matched the dress. The nails were hysterical. They were like 6 inches long, super funny.
But she had this makeup, so it was like almost this like housewife by way of like a Stepford Mars housewife.
Yeah.
Like trying to. That was what I was waiting for. I was like, is she like infiltrating? Like, I was thinking there was going...
I feel like maybe in the longer skit she is. And so that's the thing, is like the whole thing for her just felt a lot more cohesive. And I feel like it's not that she did the thing she was doing poorly.
It just didn't work.
It just didn't work because so much had to be taken out. And so I feel like, for me, that's not as big of a crime.
I'd rather watch someone try something
and not
have it
totally
not work than watch someone just do something mediocrely. And again, I don't mean this to be rude, but I don't know. I wasn't impressed with wasn't as impressed by some of the other things on display. But so yeah, we'll see. But I really kind of loved this runway. I got the Geiger. I got the
green hair is very cool.
I don't know. I'm butthurt.
Yeah, I'm a little butthurt too. Well, and I said it too while we were watching. I like that she's like, we've got a couple of big queens and we've got a ton of teeny tiny queens. And I like that she's in the middle.
This was gorgeous.
It is pretty. I'm never fully sold when it's 2 pale colors like that.
Oh.
I think it needs to be more pale colors or 1 pale color. 2 feels weird. I like the shape of it, but I wish it was all purple or all blue.
I hear you. I think that's more personal preference.
It is. It
failing.
For sure is. I didn't say failure.
Like a failing on their part, but she didn't impress me immediately, other than her ability to own the situation, as I already mentioned.
Well, her and Aura both came in, and I don't know if MTV is like 4K or something, but it was Lace Front City on both of them. And they were like being really weird and icy to Irene. And I was like, Irene's lace front is the only one I can't see. So who's really having issues? But the rest of the time, they both looked fantastic. So
what was Lux's talent?
She did a lip sync. But I think it was to an original song.
And I think it was good, like solid.
It was pretty good. It was solid.
It doesn't...
Nothing to be mad about, but it didn't really stand out.
However, so in her regard, sort of the more time I spent with her, the more I came around. The more I warmed up. Yeah. I loved this. I loved the instinct to give her the hat and the tape.
Okay, the shape of it, the structure, all of that, fantastic. I kind of wish the coloring was different. But
I also think both colors, I think the coloring complements her complexion so well.
Yeah.
She gives me keep it real vibe, where she'll say what she's thinking and say the thing that needs to be said.
She did it a couple times.
But not to the point where you're starting shit or provoking.
It wasn't rude.
Yeah,
this is beautiful too.
She looks beautiful. This just feels very standard to me.
It's very standard, yeah. I'm not mad at it. I think it's correct that she was safe. She also did a lip sync to the Blackpink song, wasn't that her?
Yes. Yeah. That was good.
It was pretty good. She did a lot of cool moves and stuff. But again, it wasn't like
he's hot.
He's super hot.
Though. And I hate that that's my takeaway at this point. But that he's the hot one.
Yeah.
Marsha's the early front runner for me. I was worried that she was going to be too pretty and too talent, like as you mentioned. I'll leave that, but it seems that she knows, that she's aware of what her strengths and weaknesses are.
I was worried we were going to get like an unholy mix of Pearl and Jan. And I was like, oh no. But it's not that. It's definitely not that.
Well, it is, but it's the other.
But it's not an unholy
mix.
It's the holy mix of them. But she's absolutely beautiful. Her talent was so funny and cute. She did the dance to Ross. She was like a teen girl wearing headgear in like a frumpy nightgown, and then she was like, was it "I'll Make Love to You"? It was Boys to Men. Very funny, very endearing. It shows that she's not afraid to look kind of homely or ugly, and it was funny and it was well thought out and it worked. I don't know. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
And like this is also her she's living Cher Horowitz realness.
Well, I was curious how much of the Marcia was going to be
actually Marcia.
Like if she was like a caricature of Marcia Brady or if she was taking it as a jumping off point.
I think it's a jumping off point. Yeah. Also, she backed it up with real talent because she was ballet dancing. And I'll say it for a fifth time. Bitch has a BFA.
And she choreographed.
Yeah.
And I mean, she did sort of thrust herself into that position. But also,
it came across.
And she wasn't hammering it. Like when other people started chiming in to the point she just kind of like went ahead.
Faded into
and that's necessary. Because I think the thing is that they're so preoccupied with this is our first impression. We got to make a good impression, all that. And I'm like, yes, but beyond the judges, you're on a TV show.
Yeah.
And if you're not making the audience, endearing the audience to you, it can be tricky.
100%.
Nitra.
Girl. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan out of the gate already. Yeah.
She's the one that I said that, is she the one that I said that I can't see her face?
Yes.
When he's out of, it's Bosco again, where I can't make that person that be drag queen. When he's also, I don't know if it's just me, but he is one of the trade nominees. I think he's cute.
Really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of us have a thing for noses, so that probably factors in. But no, he was good. She was good. I like her style. Her talent was the
duck walking and the karate and like nearly kicking Bryce in the face.
But that's always like you don't want to do too much. Like you don't want to hang, your hat on doing too many things. But when you can be doing one or two things and slip in actual talents, like that's always interesting.
Yeah, this was
great.
Beautiful.
This was fantastic.
I really, really liked the metallic part of it and the vest over top. It's very fun.
Well, a couple of these hit me as just fine, just like that's kind of what I would expect. And the metallics and the ear and the
head plate.
That's what gave it an edge and an identity other than just like nice.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that there's something happening. Like I like
there's structure
the structuring.
To it.
Yeah.
And the fox fur is very cute as well. I think she also did just a lip sync. Everybody was like lip syncing to mostly original songs.
They were a mixed bag for me. I don't think anyone...
No one was embarrassing.
No one biffed it.
No.
But I think only a couple of them really stood out to me.
Okay. I weirdly really enjoy Princess Poppy so far.
Okay. She's one of the ones I took note of.
I really liked her entrance dress, the twister. It was like she had like a painter's palette, but the skirt looked like a twister board. I will say she did the same silhouette twice because it was tutus both times. But this is beautiful. I really love the colors all together. It's really, really cool. And she did the disgusting puppet, the parasite puppet. That was fucking hilarious.
It was that
was so weird.
And the places where it was like, it didn't fall flat, but if it were to, the gumption was enough.
Exactly. I really quite enjoyed her. I would love to see a different silhouette. Like if she's going to keep wearing tutus, I feel like that's going to get stale. But so far, I like her. And we also haven't gotten a ton of personality, but the parasite puppet went a long way. To giving me something.
Really? Because then again, I don't think I've heard that routine, so I don't know if that's an original routine on her art or...
But oh god, it's just the hue of every color is so perfect. This is absolutely stunning.
I loved this.
Yeah.
It is a little bit... not standard. It's a little bit classic. It's that kind of like 1930s
It's
silent,
like a showgirl, the pageanty showgirl. I mentioned
very Singing in the Rain when they're doing the red carpet. And it's all the avant-garde. It's Colby. She came in and said, "I'm Sasha Colby." You know who she is.
She's stunning. This dress is beautiful, and I loved her
leopard
rendition of Zombie.
Oh, right. That was so good. It was interesting.
Yeah. It was sort of an interpretive dance.
Uh-huh.
And I mentioned it in our full coverage, but I can't even explain how much I love that she didn't paint herself like a zombie, because people do that, and it's
nobody knows what that song's
all
about.
The zombie movies. That is not what that song is about. It's not about monsters. I'm just saying. So I really, it also was quite moving, and she like took off part of it, and then it was like just like black and white, and
she had
kind
the
of
hair
tan,
knots.
and she untwisted the hair knots. It was very, I was impressed. I liked it quite a lot.
Miley Cyrus's New Year's Eve thing, her and Dolly did a gorgeous duet of "I Will Always Love You," and it cut to this like couple, that exact couple that you were imagining, dancing, slow dancing to the song, singing it into each other's faces at a concert. And I was like, famously a breakup song. Like,
it's true.
You're so right. Media literacy has never been at such an all-time low.
Yeah. It's like if my name was Jolene and I was like, that's my song. And it's just like, what? No, it's not.
It's about.
It's not it.
So anyways, kudos there for not doing that.
Yeah, I was impressed all around. I think I
liked her leopard when she came in, because she was very Raquel Welch.
Oh, yes. I think she's our oldest queen this year, I believe. Yeah.
Stop putting it that way.
Sorry.
The Monica Bellucci when she was the oldest Bond girl. Stop saying it that way.
Yeah, this is
you get drag, like you get like she's walked the walk from her.
For sure.
Because some of them are fresh as daisies.
Oh my God.
And that's not shade, but it's like some of them.
It's a little bit of shade from me. That's just the perfect color red for her complexion too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Selena S. Titties. Okay, here is my, I have one issue with her. It's my only issue with her. The rest of it is flawless and hilarious. My only issue is I feel like it's gonna get tired.
Because this runway is, I think, a slight retread of the
her entrance,
which might be one of my, like, Hall of Fame.
It was very good.
Because I love that it was like a boy.
Yeah.
But it was still a drag queen.
Yeah.
Like, because she had, like, a male, like, chest.
Yeah.
And boxers and jeans.
Very funny.
And the stupid button up, but then it was like glittered in a house coat. And I just like, the name Selena S. Titties is so funny to me. I mean, titties is one of the best words out there.
It's pretty good.
I don't know. Who is she bumping heads with? Because someone was like, I'll be Yolanda.
Oh, was it Lucy?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't remember. Anyways.
Yeah. I think it was Lucy.
Okay.
It was another tall one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I did like, I like her shtick. I like what she's doing.
I just wonder how many angles there are to it. You know, like how faceted is this? It's like, I love the vibe and the look. And if that is how you're making your living, then I love that for you. But I think
strikes me as someone who has a few tricks.
A few tricks. I would like to see it.
Certainly turned a few.
Yeah.
She's the one with the Y2K aesthetic, which is great and we love it, but also it couldn't be more in vogue at this moment.
That's also true. And it's also like Sugar and Spice are both kind of doing that also, where I'm just sort of like,
they're just young though. Like you can't, when you're that young, you're not deciding to do something for fashion reasons. You're just not capable of differentiating.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
But I did like her. What was her?
Where's my baby?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I said it.
I think they both biffed it in the exact same way.
Hers was Amethyst was better. Amethyst's talent was better than Irene's in that she actually did land one joke. She did land a punchline. It just, and I said this even before they did on the show, where I was like, the problem was she dropped the punchline too soon. Yeah. The reveal of the baby needed to be later.
Yeah.
But it was funny. Her performance was interesting. It was a concept.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that not for nothing, I think that that's admirable when someone can engineer
a
joke, even if they haven't perfected it yet. I think that that's interesting.
She's also one of like 7,000 queens this season from Connecticut.
But is she the one that the first one came in and proudly stated they were the first from Connecticut, and then we got like 7 more.
Yeah, so it was her, and then every other one in the second group was from fucking Connecticut.
This is cute, but it does not do much for me.
It's the only thing that even puts it to another level for me is that it's purple. Okay. I like Jax, I think.
Okay.
I liked the entrance look. The like cheerleader look was fun. The hair jump rope in the talent.
That was the best part for me. I don't love this runway.
I don't love this runway. There's a disconnect somewhere with the hair. I think it's just too far down on her forehead. I think if it was like 1 inch up, I think it's flawless.
I think the artificial edges aren't translating. It just looks like a weird.
I agree. Yeah.
Hairline.
I think there's a way to do it, but I think it's a conjunction of like 1 or 2 things. But I do love the Fly Girl vibe of it. That's very fun to me. But I think you just honestly can't kind of get around the jump roping with your hair.
Because I got there, like when she walked out, because it looked like she had 4, and then when I realized she dropped it down, I was like, that bitch is gonna jump rope with her hair.
Yeah.
And she really, really nailed that whole. So for me, it was her performance that really.
She's also from Connecticut. She said what did she say? She's Black and Puerto Rican, and she was adopted and raised in Connecticut. And I was like, I don't think Connecticut was ready for you.
It's a lot of perspectives.
Yeah, it is a lot of perspectives. It's very interesting perspectives. But I like the whole vibe. I think she's the teensiest one this season. Like she said that she's the Simone Biles of drag. Yeah, I vibe with this. I'd like to see more. Okay. I don't not like this.
Same.
But
there was something that's not connecting.
It's the mermaid train. It's the mermaid silhouette. It's not correct. If you're doing Britney from Toxic, why is it long? Why is it a mermaid? Why is it fit and flare? No.
But I'm saying, and again, I don't.
Also, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
On Jan.
I'm not here to actually, antagonize drag queens on the internet or anything like that. Like, I mean nothing personal. But with Lucy, there's something that's not quite connecting with me.
That's fair.
What was her performance?
She sang live. And it was pitchy. It was pitchy, dog.
It was a fine performance. Like, it was, if you were put into the performance challenge,
sure,
and were able to do that, I'd be like, you really rose to the occasion.
Or if I were at a drag bar and she did that.
But to choose that to showcase was where I was a little bit like, oh, if you're showing off, I think it should land better. And I completely agree with what they were saying. I think Ariana Grande was also saying that it was like, it's a concern of mine when you're singing and dancing at the same time. Yeah. And we were comparing it to the Irene Dubois, where it was sort of like, Irene tried something that didn't really work.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think she wasn't as good as she needed to be.
Yeah.
That she's here, so we're gonna see, and I am definitely open. There was a couple of them, and believe me, I get it. I completely get it. But there's a couple of them that seem put off by the young people in a gatekeepy way.
Yeah.
And I absolutely need, or think that you need to respect your elders and that you need to know your history. But there is just something about some of them that feel very possessive.
Yeah, I think it's all in the attitude you present, because it's like you can be like, you've only been doing drag a year. I've been doing drag for 20 years. I know more than you. That is accurate. No matter what, you know more than them. But to just immediately discount the younger queens, just to be like, well, I have more experience, so I'm automatically better. And it's like, well, you've had longer to sink into potentially bad habits.
And like things.
Both sides have positives. Yeah. And so I
noticed there wasn't, I didn't pick up on a lot of drama,
but it's an attitude,
but there was a couple of things like that I sort of saw the potential for.
So basically, this is not my favorite look. Hers was not my favorite performance, because this also gives like Hello Dolly in a way that I'm like, why are we the Hello Dollyfication of Britney Spears' Toxic? I don't know. What about the toxification of Hello Dolly?
You're just putting words together at this point.
That's apparently what we gotta do.
I did think his whole thing is interesting.
Yeah.
I like the tattoos and the mesh shirt.
Also, he's apparently construction worker.
Yeah, it was.
It's fun, yeah.
I like this. This is Mistress Isabel.
Yeah.
I think that this is great. I think that it's well put together. It's impressive. Mm-hmm. It's, I guess I don't have a lot of specific things to say other than I think it's great. I
like her too. She did the boxing one, which was pretty funny. And it was cute. And I liked that. I like him. He's got a personality backstage. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see where she goes as well. I'm not like immediately blown away, but I like her, and she's one of the ones that's like older that's been doing it for longer, which I enjoy as well. Oh, she's also wearing teeny tiny heels though.
Robin Fierce. Okay, this to me, this is just straight up like it's nice. I like it, and it comes off. I think.
Yeah, it does. The skirt.
It was giving me very, didn't we just see Jada Essence Hall do this? Mm-hmm. I think I did like her. Is she the one that I thought looked like Holly Robinson Pete?
I think so, yeah. She's cute. I like her. She also did a lip sync. I wish there had been a little more variety in the talent. Go ahead.
Sugar and Spice. They came in hot.
Yeah.
It was on our faces. I think they're probably going to end up being pretty good.
I think I would say they'll make it to the middle of the pack.
We'll see. Yeah. They're very young.
And they have only ever done like a handful of performances. They are TikTok queens.
For me, it's going to depend on if they can learn.
Yeah.
And if they can learn in real time and if they can take on feedback. I would love for this to be a Violet Chachki situation where they're capable of taking that in.
Sure.
I'm optimistic. I wasn't at first, but given they handled a couple digs at their expense.
Yeah, they handled it well. They didn't get butthurt immediately. They didn't get bitchy afterwards. They laughed when people were poking fun at them. I'm fine with it. We'll see.
When you're young and hot, you don't need to tell us that you're young and hot. Yeah. And that's where I get irritated. And it's just sort of like you need, I don't know. I'm optimistic on both of them. I liked both of their lip syncs were good, were cute. Both of them exhibited a sense of humor that I was unaware was there and in desperate need of knowing that.
For both of them, yeah, absolutely.
The Disney princess, cute. They looked good. They pulled it off well. I mean, it's a little florals for spring, groundbreaking, if you ask me.
But it was successful.
Like the 21-year-old dressed like a Disney princess.
Look, here's the other thing, too, is like neither one of them were even remotely born when those movies came out. So it's like it's such a touchstone for us. And so for them, it's like, do you hear about that vintage movie, Beauty and the Beast?
I hate gatekeeping. And also, I'm going to keep the fuck out of this gate. I just sort of...
God help us when they watch Drop Dead Gorgeous. Are you kidding me?
No. I think the fact that they were good and seemed like they could be capable of growing in real time.
I agree.
It really gave them an edge that I was prejudging them. I also will say that as good as these looks were, Michelle did sort of mop the stage with them.
That's pretty funny.
With her versions of them.
Yeah. This was like Bella from Jersey, right?
Yeah. Long Island. It's just J. Scott Campbell. Both of them are just J. Scott Campbell drawings, so...
Yeah.
Is that really all of them?
Yep. Yeah, that was all of them. I
feel really rusty. I always feel weird when we started and feel better once I've actually edited it. But I think those are it always feels so daunting starting a season of Drag Race.
So this is 3 more queens than usual. That's a lot of queens. So,
but Ariana was great.
Yep.
And also Vivacious was there.
Yeah.
Ornacia, or Orangina, as I called her in our...
Well, we were watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine earlier, and it was the, like, orange soda versus Orangina.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know where that came from for me, but I'm optimistic.
Yeah, me too. I feel like this is going to be a fun season.
Maybe bring Irene back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to set a precedent, but...
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you are fine to just go.
Yeah.
You can just move right along.
You don't have to talk to us.
You don't need to let us know how stupid we are. We already know.
We're good.
Yeah. And hopefully we'll see you back next week.